You, Mr. Frost.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hello, thank you so much for being here today. You know, when I was back home in the district over the weekend, everywhere I went, the grocery store, walking around the park, doing anything, people were coming up to me asking about Social Security. And I think a lot of people are worried and scared right now. I think part of it has to do with a lot of the mis and disinformation that's going around. I mean, we've heard this constant lie from Elon Musk that tens of millions of dead people are getting Social Security paychecks. Claiming fraud on Social Security, I think, is one way that folks are going to justify cutting it, pocketing the benefits for billionaires, privatizing it. Ms. Koselleck, Elon Musk is now calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. How concerned are you that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme?
I don't think we have seen indications in our work that that is the case.
Musk is calling it a Ponzi scheme as an excuse to destroy it, in my opinion. Americans earn Social Security through years of hard work, and it's a good investment. It could be a better investment for black men, because we're pretty much donors because we live less time, but that's another conversation for another time. It's one of the most popular government services, and most people support more funding for Social Security, not less. Ms. Wagner, you know, people want shorter wait times, payments processed more quickly, but at the same time, the administration wants to cut 7,000 employees from the administration. Yesterday, somebody from my office called Social Security, 30 days to process something on retirement, 30 days on Medicaid, 230 days as it relates to disability. What would be the effects of these cuts to the Social Security Administration right now?
When staff shrinks, there are fewer people to take appointments, to answer phones, to process applications for different benefits, and that hurts people nationwide. And in addition to their own staff, Social Security Administration funds state disability determination service employees who decide whether applicants' disabilities are severe enough to qualify for benefits. Their processing time was already at a record high of 7 months, and we expect cuts will have further impact. In addition, 7 in 10 of Social Security staff do serve the public directly. So this will have a major impact on customer service.
Thank you. It's not just, you know, billionaires like Elon Musk who are going around attacking it. My own Florida Senator Rick Scott, the richest person in Congress, which on the topic of fraud, you know, my senator made history. He's the man responsible for the largest Medicare fraud in the history of this country, $1.7 billion. He says that Republicans are, quote, going to have to cut Social Security, end quote. Why are they doing this? Well, to take money from Social Security to use it for tax cuts for people who are too rich to need it. House Republicans plan to make $880 billion in cuts to health care. This means cuts to Medicaid and Medicare, too. Ms. Wagner, 4 in 8 American children are Medicaid recipients, including over 60,000 people in my district alone. For an Orlando family currently receiving Medicaid, what could be the financial fallout from losing access to Medicaid?
Well, first, when states are forced to cut back on funding, they are going to cut back on who's eligible and the benefits they receive. But cuts will have broader impacts than just those who are no longer eligible. They will directly or indirectly affect the amount of funds available for state staff, for IT systems that support Medicaid, and they'll probably lead to more improper payments and reduced program integrity. And it will impact people whose eligibility isn't cut. Longer call center wait times, more errors, uncertainty, stress, and possibly not being able to get approved for benefits or losing coverage at renewal, even though they remain eligible.
Thank you. You know, before coming to Congress, I worked in organizations, and one of the proudest things I did was work at March for Our Lives. It came after the shooting that happened in Parkland. I traveled this country speaking with people that disagreed with me on the issue of gun violence, but it made me a better person. And something I learned during my travels is in order to speak about something in a bipartisan way, I think it's really important to make sure people are coming at this on the right foot, in good faith. And I'm all for the modernization of our government. I think it's really important, and I say that as the youngest person in the United States Congress. I think it is very important. But when I see the people leading the effort, like Elon Musk, call something like Social Security a Ponzi scheme, and I hear crickets on the other side of the aisle, I have a really hard time taking any of this seriously when I go home and I have people coming up to me in the grocery store who are living paycheck to paycheck, asking me, what are you going to do to protect Social Security? So thank you so much, and I yield back.